What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm out here in the shop and still working on the tractor. Still got it tore apart, waiting on parts. I mentioned in the previous video that I was going to order a remanufactured clutch, and that didn't pan out. I was going to get one from a guy that had a listing on the internet there, and so I placed the order for it. He emailed me the next morning and said he did not have the clutch disc to do it, that I could send him my clutch disc and then he could remanufacture it and ship it back to me. And I decided not to do that for a couple of reasons. One is the time. It would have took 4 to 5 days for him to get it, and 2 to 3 days for him to redo it, and 4 or 5 days for me to get it back. So I was hoping that I could just buy one from Mahindra and get it shipped overnight, or not necessarily overnight, but in the next couple of days. Well, that hasn't worked out either, because I placed the order on Monday and it is Friday. They haven't even shipped my order out, so I don't know if I would have been better off just staying with the remanufactured one, because it was $700 cheaper for both clutch discs, $700 something cheaper. But the other reason is I got to thinking about it, and I couldn't really communicate with the guy. I tried to call his phone, he wouldn't answer the phone. And I found another place on the internet that remanufactured clutches. Tried to call them, they wouldn't answer the phone either. Tried them about 3 times. So anyway, nobody answers their phone that redoes these, I guess. I did find one more place after that. I already placed an order with Mahindra, and I said, well, the heck with it. But anyway, I wanted to ask what kind of puck material that they used on the clutch. And you see the pads on the clutch there, those are called pucks. And all they do is remanufacture it. They cut these rivets out and put a new pad on here and re-rivet it. What I wanted to know is the pad material that they use, is it the same pad material as what Mahindra uses, at least equivalent or better? And I could not find any information on that. So that kind of made me leery. You know, if you send it off, even if it is $700 cheaper, if they put pad material on here that's half as good, well, it's going to last half as long. Same way with the rivets. If they use a cheaper ran rivet, it's a possibility of the rivet coming loose and you having to redo all this. Another thing is pad thickness. They make these in different thickness pads here, and so I don't know what Mahindra uses to be able to compare that to. And I'm thinking that these tractors here are not that common and people sending them off, so the likelihood of them ever actually redoing a clutch for one of these particular tractors is probably slim to none. It'd probably be the first one they ever done. So probably be kind of an experimental deal on what pad material they're using, if it's just a generic pad material, or if it is a ceramic, it's the same as OE, or what. So I couldn't find out anything. Nobody would talk to me. So I just said the heck with it. I ordered a new one from Mahindra. Hopefully it will be in maybe next week. I don't know. Hope I made the right decision on that, because like I say, it cost me extra $700. Anyway, what I'm doing out here tonight is, I can't really do anything with that because I'm waiting on parts for everything, but I placed an order for some LED headlights on Amazon, headlight bulbs, and Amazon did get me my stuff. So what I want to do here is show what I ordered, and then we're going to start putting these in. And then I will have to add to this video when I get the tractor back together, and we'll see what it looks like here. But these are H4 aux beam series 2 light bulbs, LED light bulbs. Get over here out of that bright LED light, maybe see a little better. But anyway, they have a little fan built in the back of them, and that's supposed to plug right up. And hopefully this is what that is, what it looked like to me. I couldn't find really any information on that either. But I've got this one loose. Somebody has changed this bulb before, and they put the clip in backwards, and it's just kind of hanging out, flopping around there. The other side's actually correct, the clip holding it. So I'm going to have to take this out here and probably remove that Phillips screw right there. Turn this clip over the correct way that it goes in order for it to hold the bulb in there. But there's the OEM, and let's see, yeah, it's a H4 60/55 watt. No idea if the camera's picking that up, maybe it is. But anyway, it has a rubber dust cover here, we're not going to be able to use that because the LED has a fan built in the back of it. But it should slip right in there. Set this over here out of the way. Hopefully the housing's the right depth, because I didn't have anything to measure it with. Or didn't bother, I guess I should say. Let's see. One of these ears is wider than the other. Seems like it fits right in there. So what I'm going to do is take this out with a screwdriver, flip this bracket over, snap it down in there. So let me get a screwdriver and undo that, and we'll clip it in. Alright guys, I got this bracket here flipped around, and I got both of them installed there, and they have a cord, and they just plug in like that right there to your old existing wire off your vehicle or your tractor or whatever you're working with. And as I say, you can't put those dust covers back on this tractor because it has a big fan there, and this bulb's a lot bigger. That's your heat sink. But I think that should be fine like that. Also, it tells you in the instructions that this can be rotated a little bit here to change the beam pattern in the front here and there, because this is a three-sided LED. So if you need to change the pattern, you can twist the bulb a little bit, and it should change the pattern. What else did I get? I got some H1 bulbs that I'm going to see if they fit up here. On this Mahindra 8560, it's just like the M-Power 75. M-Power 85 has the lights in the top of the hood up here, as you can see. Those are 2-inch, I believe they're 2-inch. They may be 2.5 or something, or 3. Could be 3-inch. I don't know what they are. Anyway, they're little pod lights, and I'm not sure. They look like H1 bulbs, and I'm not sure on the back side if that is going to work. But I ordered some, and I'm going to get up here and take a look at it and see what it looks like, if they might work. If not, I think the H1s fit in the spider headlights on my Dodge pickup. I have to take a look at that. I may can use them in there also if they do not work for this. So let me grab these over here, and we're going to take this apart and see if we can get the H1s in these up here. And if not, it's not the end of the world. Alright guys, the H1 bulbs are not going to work for this project here. I'm not sure what that is. It's probably some kind of specialty thing, but you see how the plug is offset from the center of it, and the center of it is no hole there. So those are kind of special something other bulbs, I guess, that Mahindra uses. I'm not sure, but those bulbs that I got are not going to work, which is no big deal, because as I say, I think they will fit in my Dodge out there. So we may have to find out if they'll fit it, because I have aftermarket headlights in it, which are made by Spider, and they're not very good at all. They look cool, but you can't see very well with them. So we may try to see if we can put these in there and do another video on that if they work. If not, I don't know, I'll do something with them. I forgot to mention that even the bulbs that I put in the headlights, H4s, they're 8,000 lumen bulbs for the set, which is 4,000 lumens a piece. So they should be quite a bit bigger, brighter than the bulbs that I took out, and they draw less wattage. I think if memory serves me right, I looked up and they were 36 watts a piece is what they draw. For a total of 72 versus a total of 120 with the two other bulbs. But anyway, I needed to take this apart anyway, because see how this plastic here is faded out and it's white? It should be black. I'm going to spray paint this with black paint here while I have it apart, and then I will get back up there and put it back in, and hopefully that will make it look a lot better. So let me grab some paint, and we'll get this done. Alright guys, I got our pieces of plastic light housings there painted, sitting up there waiting to dry, and then I'll just put that back together. There's nothing to it, just a few Phillips screws. But I want to show you these other lights I got here and where they're going to go. So I picked these up right here. These are made by Oxbeam, These are 36 watts, 3-watt LEDs in there, and there's 12 of them. And I want to mount these on the fender here somewhere. And I don't know if I'm going to take this light housing out, and maybe what I do and drill a hole through. See, this light housing comes out here. It's three Phillips screws. Drill a hole through the top of it right here, and I can mount this right here on that, and the nut slides back and forth in there, as you can see, so I could move it in this way or out that way, or however I wanted. If I want to put it out here like this and offset it just a little bit, or if I want to put it dead center, there should be room to do that with the bracket over there. I think that's going to make a lot of difference, and I'll have to drill a hole there for the wire also and run it down, and I will probably tie the wire in. I'll have to look and see how the lighting circuit's done on this tractor when I get it back together, but I may tie it into the plow lamp wires back there, because you have two different switches up here on your steering wheel column there on the dash. One is for your headlights, and one is for the plow lamps and the lights in the hood there that we're doing the plastic for right there. So I have to see which circuit runs back here and how to tie it in, but I have reduced the wattage of the headlight bulbs up there a decent amount. I forget what the wattage was. They were 120 watt, and now they're 72 watts for the two of them. So that's reduced it enough that I should be able to mount these here without drawing but just a couple extra amps of juice. So you always have to keep that in mind. So I should just be able to tie this in to one of the wires, and it should be good. So I'm gonna mount one of these on each side somewhere in there. I don't know if it's gonna be in this light housing. That's really what I'm thinking right there. I could come up and mount it back here like that behind the light housing on the actual fender. Could do it like that, but I'm thinking I'm going to get better lighting and whatnot if I mount it out here like this, and I think it'll look all right there. So that may be what I do. And I got some more over here I'm going to show you too that's going on the back. All right guys, so here's the original Mahindra plow lamp right there. Here's the aux beam 18 watt 4-inch wide LEDs, 6 of those, little 3 watts in there. And so this is exactly half of the previous light I just showed you that I'm going to put on the front fender up there. And what I'm thinking on doing on this is Mahindra has got this little bracket here for the plow lamp right there. And I like how it's done. It's tucked inside so brush don't knock it off. If I were to mount something up here, it'd probably be easier for brush to knock it off, but I don't know. But anyway, so they already have this conveniently done. So I just ordered another one of these brackets right here because it was like dirt cheap, like 10 bucks or something for it and the bolts. Or maybe it was 12, I don't know. But it was cheaper than what I could probably spend time to bend this and drill holes in it. So I just ordered one. They've already got the fenders over here drilled for the holes for the bolts. So, and they already have a wire coming out here as well. So what I want to do is get that bracket and then mount this light up here like this right here. And so no brush should hit it, shouldn't get broke. And then I'm going to remove this one here, mount the other one over here on this side as well. And these lights here are about as bright. I think they're probably a touch brighter than what the original plow lamp is, and it has a better pattern because these LEDs are 1800 lumens, and I'm thinking these here, I don't know for sure, but just by looking up a halogen bulb pattern for like a 60 watt bulb, maybe around 12 to 1500 lumens. I don't really know. Different charts show different results and whatnot, but so these should be just a little bit brighter than what this one factory is. So if I put one on each side, 2 of these should equal one of those others. So that should give me plenty of light on the back here to be able to see down here when I'm doing box blade work, or if I want to bush hog or something at night. So anyway, that's what I got in mind there, and I'm just going to tie that into the factory plow lamp wire there as well. And see, I think I can just splice these wires up there where the harness comes through. You can see up there in front, right up yonder, and tie the other ones into this circuit as well. So when you turn your plow lamp on, you'll have 2 lights back here and 2 lights in front of the fenders over there. Those 7-inch lights that I just showed you, 1 on each fender, plus 2 of these, and then also the 2 in the hood up there that we could not swap to LEDs. Now I may go back right there on those plastic pieces, show you that. See how they have this mount here for these little pods? For right now, I'm just going to put this back in there and leave it. But in the future, if I decide to do so, I could get some 3-inch LED pod lights, and I could redo this bracket right here, and I could make them fit in there. They could probably be actually mounted off of the bottom. You see how most of these mount off the bottom, so you could probably mount something like that right there off of the bottom, like so, 1 on each side. And this is a 4-inch, but you could use a 3 because I don't think this 4 would fit in the housing correctly. I don't know, it's not bad. It's got a little gap there. But you can get one that's a little more square than that, and you could make that work. Or you could probably make that right there work, honestly, if you really wanted to. But it'd have a gap around it. You'd have to figure out how to fill the gap in. But anyway, so I may do something like that in the future. But for right now, I'm just going to mount those right there back in there, I think. And then mount these on the back and the 7-inch on the fenders. And then when I get the tractor back together, I'm going to add that clip onto this video, providing I don't lose the footage or something like that. And it'll just swap over and you'll be able to see what the lights look like when I get it back together. Alright guys, I want to throw this in there too. I'm working on the LED lights on the fenders, and I'm going to show you what it looks like here. I've got one of them done here. Well, I've got the other one already done. That's on the tractor, but I ain't got this one on yet. I'll show you what I did. I've got silicone coming through the hole here where the wire goes in, and I mounted it on top there like that. This whole pod here comes off the fender. There's a couple of ways you could do this, I guess. You could pull this light out and mount this in there and just disregard this. This is a turn signal and just a little clearance light right there. But I chose to mount it on top like that and to route that wire in there. This wire is a pretty thick coating on it, so I just drill the hole there and run it through and put silicone on the back of it, as I say, and I just tied it into this clearance light circuit here, which is on a headlight circuit. So when you turn the headlights on, these LEDs will automatically come on. But that was the easiest way to do it. That way I could unplug it. There's a grommet here that goes in the fender, and it'll plug right back in as a whole assembly. And I'll show you over here. See how this has got a pocket in the fender for that to set. And like I say, you could pull the whole light out and put it in this pocket if you wanted to. But the way I did it, I thought would work for me. Hopefully they won't get knocked off. Here's the side here that I've got done. It's already sitting up there. And see, I did it the same exact way. And I'll have to wait till I get the tractor back together here. It's still tore apart until I get, so I can adjust them and everything. But I think that right there is probably going to be pretty close. And should put out a lot of light. I'll show you one. I got the one on the back mounted too. What it's going to look like. This is the one for the back here where the plow lamp was, and you see how that mounts right there, and it's just tied into the wires the plow lamp was. And there's already wires over here from the factory for a plow lamp on this side, and I ordered another bracket like this right here and the bolts to go right here for the second plow lamp. Put an LED on it as well.